Wow. Kenny Porter says he's picking Errol Spence Jr. over Terence Crawford. He said it without any hesitation, and he explains himself and explains why he would favor Errol Spence over Terence Crawford. Find out why in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Y'all know the acronym SLC. Subscribe, like, and comment. It's really that simple. We just hit a new milestone, 300K on the channel. I appreciate y'all, and it's onwards and upwards. So I need you guys. I need your support. Just continue to support the channel for all your boxing news. This is your one-stop shop. Now, I just peeped a recent interview from the Boxing Voice, TBV, and they talk with Kenny Porter. As you guys know, Kenny Porter, probably most famously for training his son, Sean Porter, who recently retired. His last fight was Terence Crawford. So we'll come back to that. Hold that, notate that. We'll come back to that. And I will put the link in the description, as I always do, so you can check out the video. In this video, I'm just going to paraphrase. I'm not going to read the quote verbatim. But if you want that, you guys, again, go to TBV and check out their interview. I didn't watch the whole interview, but I seen the part with Errol Spence that one of my followers had sent me. So Kenny Porter was asked about the mega fight we all want to see at welterweight. That's Errol Spence Jr. Hey, stop that cat, man down. Big Fish versus Terence Crawford. And the interesting thing here, and you'll notice if you watch the video, is Ness was asking Kenny Porter, and he said the question, and the way he framed it, he said something to the effect of, you know, you don't have to actually pick a side or lean to somebody, but, you know, what are your early kind of thoughts? And, it, you know, he was kind of generous in the way he presented the question. And guess what? Kenny Porter just went in without hesitation and said he picking Errol. And he just said it like that. Like there was no hesitation at all. It was just he shot from the hip, and then he begins explaining why. And he says that Errol Spence has a huge advantage over Terence Crawford because he's naturally bigger. Now, from what I've seen, and I've said this time and time again, the great Ego Stradamus strikes again. What I have seen is more boxing celebrities, trainers, former fighters, legends, you know, are picking Terence Crawford. But what I've particularly seen is if you listen to a lot of their breakdowns, it's not really a breakdown so much as it's a prediction. What do I mean by that? What I mean is, like, when you listen to Kenny Porter, who's picking Errol Spence, there's only a handful of guys that are publicly 10 toes down picking Errol Spence. But every single person that I've seen that is a voice in boxing that has picked Errol Spence, there's some common denominators, and a lot of them are saying similar things, and they're actually breaking down with specifics why they're picking Errol Spence. So it doesn't sound like there's some inherent favoritism or bias. Like, I'll get to what Kenny Porter said in a second, but I wanted to notate this. Versus like Tim Bradley. Tim Bradley was talking about the fight, and he's like, oh, Crawford all day. And then if you listen to his breakdown, he started saying flaws that Crawford makes, and he's like, man, he can't do that with Errol. So he completely lost me with his breakdown because you're picking Crawford, no problem. You know, it's that type of fight, 50-50 fight. But then your breakdown, you keep talking about how Errol's good at this and Errol's good at volume, and you can't, Crawford backs straight out and Crawford backs out with his hands low. But again, the handful of people, and it's far fewer, that have picked Errol Spence, they seem like they've thought this through and they're citing their reasons. And I think that's respectable, because that's what you should be. I don't really care about a prediction if you're inherently biased. And like, you know what I mean? It's not a slight to anybody, but like, let's say Keyshawn Davis, that's your big bro. So, I mean, what can you offer in the prediction? You know, are you really going to truly go against your big bro in that sense? But some fights are so good, and it's like if you're close to the situation, that prediction You know, it just means less if you're too influenced, or if you're going to be biased about it. You know, I don't want to beat around the bush if you're going to be biased. However, back to what I was saying, you got Kenny Porter, who his son is friends with Terence Crawford. His son had Terence Crawford since the victory, since Terence Crawford stopped Shawn Porter, and Shawn Porter, you know, the fight got stopped because Kenny Porter threw in the towel. Since that moment, Terence Crawford has appeared on the Porter Way podcast at least 2 times. And then there's also pictures on the net of them. They hung out in Vegas and they were paintballing. So this is no secret. They've always stated that they had a good, cordial relationship, friendship, brotherhood, whatever you want to call it. They still decided to fight. You know, hats off to them. I watched the fight, whoom. But you would think if Kenny Porter wasn't being honest, that he would naturally just side with the person that has the closer relationship with his son. But without hesitation, that's not what he did. So he must really believe that Errol Spence wins. Now, as far as his reasoning, Kenny Porter, to paraphrase, he was basically saying Errol Spence has a huge advantage because Errol Spence is naturally bigger. And this, my friends, is the recurring theme. The few guys that I've seen picking Errol Spence, a lot of them have said that. Paulie Malignaggi basically said that. He was like, I don't know. Crawford came from, 130, 135 guys, and Errol Spence is naturally bigger and he's naturally stronger, boom, 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 right? Hasim Rahman, he picked him. He said some of the same things. Kenny Porter, Raul Marquez. There's a handful of guys that have picked Errol Spence, and they keep bringing that up. And what Kenny Porter was saying in this interview is basically that Terence Crawford, he's in there with the bigger man who could replenish and rehydrate to proportions that Crawford won't or hasn't or probably can't safely rehydrate to. So that would be a huge advantage for Errol Spence. And you know what the saying goes, a good big man beats a great little man. Now, another thing that I've said personally is, if Crawford's ambitious and he's talking about if he becomes undisputed, he wants to try undisputed at 54. And Bomac did an interview and he said that the Charlo fight is easier than Errol Spence. So to me, that doesn't sound realistic. That seeing is believing. I'm just gonna put it that way. Crawford, he's definitely a bad man if he beats Errol Spence and then moves up to 154 and then defeats Charlo. But Kenny Porter was asked about that, and he was asked about if Crawford beat Errol Spence and then moved up to 54, could he beat Charlo? And he was like, no, I don't think so. And the hosts were like almost like appalled or shocked. It sounded like a little bit. And Kenny Porter was like, no, I personally don't see it. I don't see how you're going to beat Charlo. And that's kind of what I said. Like, for me, people act like this is a video game, like Marvel versus Capcom, Street Fighter 2 Alpha, Mortal Kombat. Like, this is not a video game. Moving up in weight is a process. Jermell is definitely stamped at the 154. He's literally the best person there. And Jermell Charlo, I did a video about it. You guys, it's up to you to hit the subscribe button and watch the videos. But earlier today, Jermell Charlo tweeted, and I made that video. He said Erickson Lubin would knock out, and that's a former Charlo conquest. He said Erickson Lubin would knock out Bud. So I think the first order of business is Bud at 47 trying to become undisputed with Errol. I don't so much want to even have too much like elongated conversation about 54 because getting past Errol is, that's up for grabs. That should be the major focus. But I just want to kind of encapsulate what Kenny Porter was saying. But even as far as Errol Spence, he felt like Errol Spence, he's just too big and he could be like super middleweight, damn near light heavyweight status when he rehydrates. And, the hosts kind of played devil's advocate and they were like, oh, what about Crawford? He used to crunch down in the lower weights. Can't he do the same thing? And then Kenny Porter was like, I haven't seen Crawford come up to 168, 170. And if you can manipulate your body and replenish and rejuvenate in that amount of time, then that's going to be an advantage for you. So let me know what you guys think. Does Errol Spence have a huge advantage with his strength, his weight, and naturally being a bigger size? Because that's a reoccurring theme. Subscribe to the channel. I'm the best in the business. Like the video and leave me a comment. A lot of people ask me what I use to create content. Things like YouTube thumbnails that generate thousands of views. For the first time ever, the cat is out of the bag. I use Canva Pro, but Canva Pro is so much more than a YouTube thumbnail maker. Use Canva Pro to curate content for YouTube, TikTok, Instagram Reels, Instagram Stories, and a whole lot more. Flyers, flowcharts, you name it, with Canva Pro. Click the affiliate link in the description to get Canva Pro. Many features, elements available to you. Take your brand to the next level. Invest in yourself. It takes money to make money. So sign up for Canva Pro today. Happy creations. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We work.